Hello, Governor. This is Rekkai and NupeFromDaVille, here for another Friday to come to you and talk to you about the greatest, or sometimes maybe not the greatest things that are on my mind and what we do over on NupeFromDaVille's channel, and also Syntell, who will be with us in a little while. Just the, the crazy nature of all this going on. Um, I've been without power because I do live in the Midwest, and those tornadoes that came through, they, try to get your boy, but I was too quick and I dodged them and they didn't hit me. So, but I was without power for a little bit. And Syntell happens to be, I think, finishing up uh, a watch right now in the Discord, which is another reason you need to be in the Discord. I would normally be there, or we would have done this earlier, but that's kind of the way it is. I don't want to get too deep into this until Syntell and some of our other people that are getting on the stage come to play, but we had a whole different topic for this week, and I changed it at the last minute because of the announcement that was made on Tuesday of this week. And you all know what it was, that Disney had officially canceled Doctor Who, and it was being taken over, it was bought out by Amazon Prime. They were discontinuing all of the lineage, all of the canon, all of the stories and stuff that we've got to know for over 60 years now. And they were going to reboot it to skew younger, call it Doctor Who, but abbreviate Doctor with a DR. And for some reason, Harry Styles, actor, singer, former boy band One Direction dude, was going to be the new Doctor. Now, he's been in a few movies and TV shows, and it was not the worst idea ever, because it would definitely skew to a younger audience, but that doesn't mean that he is ready to be the Doctor. Hashtag not my doctor. Now, I understand that it was April Fool's, and it was an April Fool's joke, a prank. I don't really do April Fool's, so, honestly, I forgot. However, before I put up the post, I did do my research and go out and quickly figure out that was a April Fool's joke. However, I think the main thing about it being an April Fool's joke is, why did it hit? Why did it resonate? A lot of times when people do these April Fool's jokes, they are pulling at a thread that is already there. And for us, for we Whovians, that was a thread that was already there. Have we gotten the best Doctor Who out of this new partnership with Disney? Because that was the hope. But from what Disney has been doing with Marvel lately, what they've been doing with Star Wars, what they've been doing with Pixar and some of their own properties, what they're doing with Doctor Who, are we getting the best thing that we could hope for? I don't know. Let's talk about it. All right. Let me go into some of the comments, and I do appreciate all the people who are here. And like I said, Syntell will be here very soon. If you have a comment that you want to shoot to the top and I get to it right away, remember that you can use the super chat. Okay, well, hello there. Fleeson771, greetings from the UK. Okay, Jason from the Discord. I know exactly who that is. All right, welcome. Like I said, Syntell is in the Discord right now. He is wrapping up a watch with Marissa, and he'll be here shortly. Swiss Dave, you're absolutely right. He said, I feel sorry for people who live in countries where April Fool's isn't a thing, getting a yearly heart attack. And it absolutely is a thing here in America. And I don't really do the April Fool's thing. It's just not something that I do. However, when I saw it, immediately my blood pressure went up and I got flustered and I was like, oh my God. I was like, but if you listen to the interviews between myself and Syntell, this is not something that wasn't completely unanticipated. Um, Doctor Who has, I don't want to say been circling the drain because that's disingenuous. I want to say that it has not been in the best position going forward. There have been a lot of problems, whether right or wrong, but there have been a lot of problems with the Disney collaboration with the BBC. The BBC, the idea, the story was that the BBC was looking to get rid of Doctor Who, but they understood what they had on their hands and they knew they couldn't let it go outright, but they needed money. BBC is still a public network, and that's not like a big Hollywood studio. And especially since the revival of Doctor Who, the emergence of David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, to make it so much larger, they needed more money. And not just for, we're going to stick money in special effects, but they just needed more money to modernize Doctor Who a little bit more and to make it something that people still want to watch and people still wanted to deal with. Here's a great comment from Todd, who's always makes great comments. If it does get canceled from Disney, it won't be the first streaming show that gets canceled after 2 seasons. All right, so let's take the cat out of the bag, shall we? I don't even know why that's a saying. It's a weird thing to say. Cats in the bag. Who puts cats in bags? That's weird. The Doctor Who is not, I repeat, not being canceled. But for many people, or at least until you figured out it was April Fool's Day, we fell for it. Why? There are a number of things. One, Disney had taken over production. They had poured a lot of money into the first 2 seasons, which the second season of Doctor Who is already finished, and it is debuting on Disney Plus everywhere outside of the UK and Ireland, and on BBC One player in UK and Ireland next Friday. We are 1 week, 7 days away from the season 2 of Doctor Who. Season 2 is already done. It's in the bag. But what did happen is that Disney is no longer in charge of production. So for however much longer Doctor Who is going to be at Disney, Disney's in charge of distribution, and they're getting it to a worldwide audience, much bigger than the reach that the BBC had. But the BBC has taken back over production. For one, and you all know this, how long did it take us to get an answer on whether there was even going to be a season 2? It took forever. And a lot of that was because of the small but loud minority on the internet who were not happy with season 1 of Doctor Who on Disney. And I hate seeing season 1 because, of New Who, it's like, wasn't it like season 15? Season 14? I think it was season 14. Anyway, it took Disney way too long, their production team way too long to even greenlight the second season. And even though, for those that may not know, season 1 and season 2 were shot almost together. They had a deal. Disney had a deal with BBC in place for 2 seasons going forward, and then to kind of reevaluate. They shot those almost together. But they did not greenlight and say, we're even going to put the second season on TV. It took a while. There's been a huge call for a new doctor. Many people, from the moment he was announced, did not like Ncuti Gatwa as the doctor. I wonder why. Get out of here. Let's see. Braytech, Exoscience. Respectfully, you're new to this fandom. You get used to cancellation fears and rumors every few seasons. It always happens. Absolutely not. I'm not. And because I'm new, I'm not used to, this is what I do. I watch TV and watch media like nobody's business. So even in this rumor, the thing is, with the new state of media that we're in, Netflix will take a hit series and cancel it after one season. So does everybody else. Disney Plus, Apple, Paramount, Amazon Prime, you name it, they all do it because that's the state of media that we're in right now. Doctor Who, as much as I love Doctor Who, has been in a state of crisis now for several years. And being a newer Whovian, I have the pleasure to go back and look at everything as it is and not as it was or with the speculation. So Syntell, he likes to stay out of that. He didn't go into the internet. He doesn't watch any of that. Well, I do a little bit, but I try to keep away from spoilers. But I already know that once we get past season 10 in the Capaldi era and we have a new doctor, I already know that's where the wheels came off the train. And everyone was quick with the hashtag not my doctor. Now you could say it was because Chris Chibnall took over. You could say that he just wasn't a very good showrunner. He wasn't a very good writer. They didn't like the new doctor and they didn't like the direction that it was going. Even to the point where that 13th season, the Flux season, was only 6 episodes. And then we got to the Ncuti era and we got something completely different. So I understand that. But also being on the other side, I'm a different type of fan, a different type of Whovian. So let's talk about what is real. What is real is that the BBC has taken back over production. So even though these first 2 seasons with Ncuti, Disney was running production, BBC said, no, we're not doing that no more. So they've taken back over production. There is a spinoff. No date yet. There's a spinoff that is spinning out of this that is going to feature around Unit, featuring Gemma Redgrave, who plays the director of Unit, General Lethbridge Stewart's daughter. She is running a special unit of, she's running Unit. And this particular spinoff, this offshoot, is supposed to drop sometime later this year. So it's supposed to drop 2025. They have not given a particular release date. As far as I know, it's already been shot. It's done. It's in the can. They're doing post-production on it. Features Gemma Redgrave. Also, I can't wait for Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Russell Tovey, and a few people that we've seen in Doctor Who will be reprising their roles in this season. However, it's only 6 episodes, so it's not a lot. It is called The War Between Land and Sea. And it looks to be interesting and a nice filler in between while we're waiting on the next season of Doctor Who. Another thing that we do know that is permanent is that Ncuti is gone. So whether they, called him into the office one day and told him that they decided that they're going to move on from him, the backlash was real. He felt it and he decided to leave. His statement was that he had a lot of projects in Hollywood, so he was actually choosing to move from the UK. I think he still stayed in Wales. But he was moving to Los Angeles to further pursue his Hollywood endeavors. He did the Barbie movie. He was in that show Sex Education. So he does have some offers, and he does have some personal things going on that probably, if there was any time to go, now would be the time. So at the end of this second season, he is officially done. That's okay. We anticipated that. Even as the first season was going, if you listen to some of the talk between myself and Syntell, we even said that just, let me put this, the backlash was so strong that even if Chuti was the right guy, he was a great guy, great actor, very charismatic, very charming. As Disney or BBC, and they have a $1 billion property on their hands, a $1 property, at the end of the day, if people are not watching it, if people are choosing to turn away for whatever reason, whether it's Russell T Davies, whether it's Chuti, whether it's Disney, whether it's the condensed stories, only 8 episodes, what are we doing? They have to reassess and figure out what can they do to get people to watch. One of the reasons we're going with Disney in the first place was to get it to skew younger. They wanted to bring in a younger crowd. Most of the people at that time who are not new Whovians like myself, like Syntell, like some other people in Discord, were people who could talk about the classic era. And they go way back, and they've been watching Doctor Who forever. And the thing was, it wasn't even really a thought until David Tennant came along. And then they went even younger with Matt Smith, who was the youngest Doctor Who so far. They wanted a younger audience, one that, just like Star Wars, Star Trek, people that they could keep around for a long time. The problem is, the longer you've been a fan and the older you get in that fandom, the more you feel like that fandom, that property belongs to you because you've been along for the ride the entire time. So then they have to do right by you, which is hard for new storytellers trying to tell new stories. One of the genius things about The Doctor, which is one of the arguments they have about James Bond right now. James Bond just got taken over by Amazon Prime. So which gave all the more credence to this lie that Amazon Prime was taking over Doctor Who. They took over James Bond, which has been around for the last 60 years. And they're trying to figure out a way to move forward after the Daniel Craig era of James Bond. The original producers, owners of the IP, the Broccoli family, they weren't really having it. They wanted things done a certain way, and it's understandable. We as Whovians want things done a certain way, and we want our doctor to be a certain way. And with each doctor, we have to change. We have to adapt to the doctor. So every time it's a new season that comes along, there's a lot of people. The fandom is very vocal in saying, not my doctor, because you got used to the past doctor. Benro the Heretic. Okay. The deal was always for 2 seasons. Yes, it was at Disney. Disney only had distribution rights, never production. However, they did stick money into production. They did not step on the toes of the BBC, and the BBC gave up a lot in that area because they wanted the influx of cash to help make the show better. They have pulled back from that. That was Bad Wolf under license to the BBC. Yeah. Every few years, the doctor changes, and we as a crowd, we as an audience, we as Whovians, decide whether we are with it or not. There have been several people on this journey that Syntell and I have taken to watch Doctor Who. We have heard from several people that said that they got back into watching Doctor Who with us to watch it through new eyes and to see what our take was on it, and that they had dropped off. And they all said, when Matt Smith came, I stopped watching. When Peter Capaldi came, I stopped watching. When the 13th Doctor came, they stopped watching. They stopped watching when Chuti was announced as the 15th Doctor. And yes, I'm aware that there's a 13th Doctor and a 15th Doctor, but I am not at the point to know about the 14th Doctor yet. So we'll figure that out when we get there. So just so you don't know, if you're not watching on Discord with us, we are almost finished in the Discord. We are almost finished with season 9. So far, only the first 2 episodes have come out on YouTube. So on Syntell's channel, you see our reactions. On my channel, you see my deep dives for those. So the first 2 episodes, The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar, are out on YouTube. Just about everything that we watch together as a reaction is on Syntell's Patreon. And in the Discord, you can watch with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays to catch live reactions. As a matter of fact, you might want to watch next week. So because we are finishing the season on Tuesday, we're going to do episode 9 and 10, and then do the finales 11 and 12 on Thursday. So it's an excellent time to jump in and watch us live and in the moment. Because especially if you watch on YouTube, there's no telling how much is edited down for YouTube. I think this is a great comment right here. SK, old account. People didn't like Capaldi because he was old and replacing the young Matt Smith, and yet his era was pretty damn good. Okay, and then it talks about the next Doctor, which I know, I knew that. Syntell says he doesn't, so we'll leave it at that. Here's the interesting thing. What I also understand too was after David Tennant's era, people did not like Matt Smith. They said he was wrong for the part. He was too young. He couldn't play the Doctor, which is interesting. Those of us that are, bargain basement casting directors out there, we do that all the time. People famously, and thinking back on it now, it sounds crazy. People said that Heath Ledger could not play the Joker in The Dark Knight. They said, he was an artsy-fartsy guy, did a lot of independent movies. He was not right to play Joker, not my Joker. There was a whole campaign. People hated him being cast as the Joker. I'm pretty sure he did Brokeback Mountain before that, and they was like, oh, this guy? Hell no. They're going to tear up the entire, and sometimes you have to have a little bit of faith in the people who are putting together your projects. So, and that was about having faith in Christopher Nolan. He knew what he's doing. And now, honestly, Heath Ledger's the best thing about The Dark Knight. He turned that movie into a classic because of his completely unhinged version of the Joker. Was absolutely magnificent, and I know some people say, they like Jack Nicholson or whatever. Sure. Heath Ledger was that guy. Please don't say Jared Leto. I just, I'd be like, get off. Let's see. Alex Simpkins said, I think the BBC wanted to ask New Who after Tennant regenerated the first time. I didn't think it would ever be as popular. I don't. Okay. Oh. Okay. Sure. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Here's one from Alex Simpkins. Let's see. There's a great quote from Tom Baker, who's the 4th Doctor, that everyone in the fandom needs to understand. No one was ever failed at being the Doctor. And I think that that's the truth so far. What I've seen, I say that, and I understand it, yes, and I did get it, Alex. It was has. No one has ever failed at being the Doctor. And if you think back to, okay, so Syntell and I actually started with the Church on Ruby Road. Our first Doctor Who episode ever was the Christmas special where we saw Chuti for the first time, the 15th Doctor. And he and I were both like, whoa, I've heard of Doctor Who forever. I'm a long time Star Wars fan. I didn't really fool with Star Trek until the newer, Simon Pegg Star Trek movies, TV shows. But sci-fi, fantasy has always been my jam, along with action and comedy, but that's always been my jam. I knew about Doctor Who, but I just didn't seem like it was for me. And I guess at the time when it came back, the new Who in 2005, I was on a different wavelength in life, and I wasn't probably watching a whole lot of TV and stuff back then anyway. So just wasn't something was on my radar. So the Church of Ruby Road, even though to me particularly, not a great episode. It's very campy. It's kind of silly. Remember, you had Chuti, the Doctor was out here chasing these damn goblins or whatever, trying to get Ruby, the baby Ruby, back, and he was running around with Ruby, but trying to get her as a baby back. I was like, what in the hell am I watching? What? However, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed Chuti as the Doctor. And at that time, again, I had no frame of reference for what the Doctor was supposed to be, who he was supposed to be. Didn't know. I was like, okay, this guy's got some charisma, got some charm or whatever. Okay. We set it out to the community. Should we watch this? Like, is this something that you guys would like to see? It was overwhelming. It was like an avalanche of, yes, you guys need to get into Doctor Who. It was like, okay, say less. All right, we'll do it. But in watching that, and then we made the choice to, okay, for us to understand what we're getting into, we have to go back and watch. And I'm kind of not really a completionist, because if that was true, I have to go back and I would have had to start at Classic Who. It's just too much. But we went and started at the 9th Doctor, at the new Who, and Christopher Eccleston, and he was great. I like Christopher Eccleston as an actor. He was great. He was angry though the entire damn season. He was angry as hell, and I was like, why is he so angry? And he made a few references to the Time War in there, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, let's see. SOT Oreo said, a bit late to the party, but what I think made the April Fool's joke a little bit more believable was Chris Chibnall already destroyed canon on a massive level, similar to the April Fool's joke. And I understand that's something that happened when he took over after Peter Capaldi's era. I don't know what all that is, and when we get to that, we'll get to that. And that will be a completely different conversation for us to have, and I've heard reference to that Chris Chibnall did something during his time as showrunner that is damn near unforgivable to a lot of us Whovians. I don't know what it is yet. I can't wait to get there and really kind of look at those seasons for what it is. Like, you ever notice how you watch something and in the moment you could love it, you could hate it, and then you go back to it and be like, this is not as bad as I thought it was, or reverse, this is not as good as I thought it was. Alex, if I'm a true completionist, I need to go back and read the books and listen to the audio dramas. I am trying. It just, like, for instance, I have been a completionist. Like, Star Wars was my first love, right? You see, I got my Darth Vader shirt right now. Like, I'm a Star Wars dude. And even before Disney took over and they called half of it, legends, and half of it's not canon or whatever, I had read a lot of novels. I read the comic books, I had the toys, the video games. I watched all the animated stuff. Like, You name it, I've probably watched it, read it, played with it. That sounded weird to say, didn't it? It's just weird. Um, I get it. So I understand that Doctor Who is that big, if not bigger. And quite honestly, I really feel like George Lucas may owe some of what he put into the world that became Star Wars from Doctor Who. Like as I watched Doctor Who, I'm like, yeah, that might have, you know what I'm saying? I could see where some influence came from. Uh, but there's so much. Like if you're in the Discord, Frank in the Discord has all of the audio dramas, and I do mean all of them. Like he has all of them, and he routinely puts them up for the people to listen to. And I understand that even though, look, speak of the devil, speak and he shall appear. That's usually what we say about Chuck. Here, I'm gonna put Frank up on the stage real quick. I was just speaking about you, sir.
Yeah. I
Cause
lost track of time.
yeah, it's okay. I figured, I knew that Syntell was watching the thing with Marissa. Is that still going or?
Yeah, it's I think it's about to wrap up.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm actually proud of myself. I've been holding it down over here for a while. It just and Frank, you do know what we're talking about, right?
I figured it's about the false
Yes.
rumors.
Yes, the April Fools prank.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, so, and I was just talking about because someone just asked me. He said, if I'm a completionist, that I really need to go back and watch all the classic Who, listen to all the audio dramas, and I was just telling them how you have all the audio dramas and you play them in the Discord. It's another great place for them to be.
Yeah, I got access to all the because I slowly collected them over time. Just I have all the audios, and it's available on request. Like it doesn't matter if I'm not playing them. Don't you just ask me? Hey, I wouldn't mind listening, and I'll gladly play it for you.
Look, you guys heard it here first. Alex said Eccleston and Piper are going to revive their roles in the Big Finish audio dramas to celebrate 20 years of New Who. And I did hear that Russell T Davies and Eccleston had a good conversation. They still have some issues with each other, but they did have a good conversation, even to the point where Eccleston was willing to come back, and if it's just to do the audio dramas to reprise his role as the Doctor there. Like I don't think he's
Yeah.
ready yet to come on film because there was a number of things that have happened over the years and he's been asked to come back and reprise his role as the Ninth Doctor, flashbacks, whatever. A lot when we did the 50th anniversary, and he was like, no. Um, and that's one thing too that time will do for you. I guess that 50th anniversary was some years ago, and now you're talking about 20 years since he was there. A lot of things can happen in 20 years. You can chill out,
Yeah.
or the things that you used to be pissed off about, you're maybe not as pissed off about, or that's the thing about bad communication, misunderstandings. So
Yeah, and I'm sure RTD has shown growth to satisfy enough that he's willing to talk.
hmm I think, and if I'm not mistaken, too, one that we watched. So when Syntell and I watched the Doctor Who movie, 1996 Doctor Who movie, we said one of the people who got a raw deal was Paul McGann.
Yeah.
Because even though I hate his outfit choices in that movie, like he was like a rock star who was trying to get back on top. I was, or lord from he was a baron or something, like discarded British royalty who wanted to go on tour with Prince. I thought he was great as a Doctor, and
Yeah.
there was a plan in place for him. Again, one of those attempts to get Doctor Who more over in the American market. It didn't happen. The 1996 movie bombed. I'm not going to say it's because of Eric Roberts, but it's because of Eric Roberts. He ain't Julia. Right? I mean, the story wasn't strong. Okay, that can be forgiven. But if you listen to Syntell and I, story and villain. Story already weak, but the villain, oh my God. And he was supposed to be the master. Listen, hashtag not my master. Even though that sounds so weird to say it, like, but yeah, it was just absolutely awful. That movie was a travesty on film. And it's so sad because of that tanked what could have been a very good run of Paul McGann as a doctor. Like, it's so sad. Now, luckily, he did get to do some audio dramas and really kind of live out and do more. You got to see more adventures with him as the doctor in the audio dramas.
Which, I think he's got like 80 plus under his belt.
Man. But see, that's the kind of stuff, and really, if you think about it, back then when they were still doing 14 episodes a season, I mean, that's actually even better because, 14, what's that, 42 episodes? 3, because most of the Doctors did like 3 seasons. So he's got double that. It's like he got 6 seasons in.
He's got all of his own audio dramas as the 8th Doctor, and then he has a lot of like multi-Doctors cameos where he pops up in other people's dramas.
Yeah, like Todd Stevens said, in the multiverse, I would love to see that Paul McGann season. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And he would have worn a different outfit after that initial, because that was just clothes he found in the hospital.
Yeah, and like I said, that there was so much. I mean, because I said that I hated his outfit in the movie. You notice I didn't even mention that my name is Lopan outfit that Eric Roberts had on as the master. Like, what?
We don't talk about his outfit.
Is this Big Trouble in Little China? What in the hell is going on? Like, I was just like, dude, like, and the crazy thing is, I hear allegedly the rumors that at one time Eric Roberts was a great actor. I think it was like the late 70s or so that he was a great actor or whatever.
He has his moments, but more times than not, it's not the case.
Yeah, I heard he had like I don't know if he was an Oscar winner. He had an Oscar nomination or something. Like, I heard he was a good actor at one point. But listen, Hollywood, just say no to drugs, folks, because wow. And, it's so far removed from Julia. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tigger Plays says that both Paul McGann and Colin Baker got raw deals. BBC didn't really understand the audience. Hot take. John Sims. Ooh, not my master. Whoa. Okay, great actor, but the master should be Moriarty, not the effing Joker. Okay, that I understand, but just to, and it's not, of course, it's not your fault. We don't have the reference. For what I understand, John Sims was the first person that Syntell and I saw play the master. So we got to understanding a little bit of the master's backstory. So right now we're with Michelle Gomez playing Missy / the master. And she is magnificent. She is magnificent. But to be fair, on that point that Tigger Play just said, it is more jokester than Moriarty.
Yeah.
Like, she's still, like, she's unhinged. And I think I like Missy because she is a lot more like Heath Ledger as the Joker than John Sims was. Like, John Sims was great.
He was more Looney Tunes.
Yeah, he seemed just completely he seemed out there, and he had this this rage to him where he was like, he would just like all over the place, and then he won't start screaming, can you hear it? Can you hear the bells? And it's like, oh no, calm down. Which I think is interesting, because if that is his backstory as the master, then that means that he would always hear the bells and things like that. And that's the one thing I've never heard Missy say. If she is the reincarnation of the master, then there should be things that they take with them as they regenerate or whatever, just like each one of the doctors have. Peter Capaldi is not removed from the fact that there was a time war. Now, even though it was dealt with by the War Doctor and the 10th Doctor and the 11th Doctor, that is something still that the 12th Doctor is dealing with. We saw how the 9th Doctor dealt with it in his own way. So it's a very different take, but I'm enjoying her take right now more so than John Sims' take. So that was actually a hot take. You're the first person I've heard say that didn't like John Sims, but I get it.
I will say, the Colin Baker thing, he does get a bad reputation due to the way the show treated him in Classic. But he is my favorite Classic Doctor.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about... Hold on. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Is he in here?
In here.
Oh, he's in here.
Oh, hold on. I know our screen's a little bit different. I am here. Marissa is just taking a quick little bio. She'll be here in a hot moment. Okay. We just got off from doing a reaction. Thank you for having the space for us over here.
Look, you know what? I got it. You know what I'm saying? We in there, my guy. And I knew, I checked, so we were supposed to go on at 12:30. Right. And I was like, okay. 12:30 your time, 2:30 my time. So we were a little bit later today. And I was like, you know what? I'm a big boy. I just got on my big boy pants. You know what I'm saying? I just Gator wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted some new shoes.
To walk around money.
So, I was like, you know what? I can hold the fort down until he gets here, because we're going to have a great discussion either way.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for you to meet Marissa. She is an absolute joy. I'm sorry for everybody out here in the chat too as well. She is something, as you will see shortly. So what have we been talking about out here in these streets, man?
Hold on, before this, Tigger Plays says, speaking of people with sinister goatees, Syntell is in the
house. Let's start twirling this bad boy up a little bit.
Yes.
I expect you to die, Mr. Bond. Y'all don't
the best of Blofeld references.
So let me guess. Y'all, man, oh my gosh, we got 40-something people in this bad boy. My goodness.
Hey, listen, I was impressed. A minute ago, it was up to 60. I said, oh, listen, people just in here listen to me talk. That was weird. You know what? I think they was waiting on you to show up, because I was like, I said, tell her be here any minute. And they're like, oh, okay, come on, where you at though?
Well, let me introduce everybody to Marissa. Marissa is here. Marissa.
Hello.
Let me ballyhoo. Yeah, I gotta squeeze in that ballyhoo somewhere right here. Her accomplishments: actor, writer, film lover, wildly talented. Listen. Here's something that's funny. The very first time we had met, we met on a project. We was on a commercial together, and we were
married.
Yeah, we were married.
Yes.
So that's how all these dots are connected. We got Frank here in the chat, and then of course we have NupeFromDaVille over here. We got Rekkai over here running everything. This has been a long time coming for you all to meet. I'm gonna shut up and let you two talk.
Meet. Cool. Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, Governor.
Listen. Yeah, thank you. Listen, thank you. I don't know why I do that. I've been doing that for a while now. I think that's Courtney's fault, for real.
It feels very natural.
Yeah, it actually does. So I continue to do it. I kind of like it. I wish I did have a British accent. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah, okay. I try.
Fake ass light skinned Idris Elba. Amazing! Oh, I just cured cancer. I'm amazing.
It's rubbish. Get out of here.
Everything's better in a British accent.
It is. All right, and hold on, just because I don't want to leave her in there too long. Hello, Sherelle.
Hey, Sherelle's in the building. What's up, little lady?
Look, see, a second week with the camera on. We doing something.
I felt bad because Syntell wasn't here last week, so I was like, "Oh, that's kind of rude to just show
That's
up."
all right. That's just to let the rest of everyone know that her YouTube channel will be appearing sooner than later.
Woohoo!
She's getting
That's
ready.
Exciting.
She's getting ready. She's
Yes.
getting ready.
Technically, yes.
I'm so proud of you. That's a big step.
Sherelle, what are you doing on your YouTube channel?
A lot. No.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
She's like, I'm
She's like, she can't give it up all now. She'll give it up. We'll announce it later. I saw that you guys were in doing one of my favorite movies, Pulp Fiction.
Now one of my favorite movies.
First time.
That's why I was late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped in.
amazing.
I dropped in, and I was like, of course. You got Uma Thurman and Travolta doing the twist. You can never pass up an opportunity to have John Travolta dance. That's what they did in the 90s.
You said, that was
He
the whole
gonna
point of the
dance.
90s. It was amazing.
It had been so long since I watched it. It was almost like it's been at least damn near 10 years since I had seen it. So it was really fun to see it with somebody that had never seen it, and then also kind of like look at it with fresh eyes again. So that was awesome.
It was really fun.
Yeah, that's always a great thing.
What did you think
of the movie?
Yeah, what did you think of the movie?
Okay, so the initial guttural reaction was like, oh man, I feel like a kid again. I'm watching actual film. I feel like I can taste candy on my mouth. Like it just felt like it brought me back to the 90s, which I loved. I saw that face. I thought the cinematography was amazing. Everything was just lit so beautifully. I just realized did we ever find out what's in the briefcase?
No, I was gonna ask you what you thought was in the briefcase, but we were a little crushed for time.
Besides good lighting. That's hilarious. That just hit me. No fucking clue what's in the briefcase, but that's okay. The acting was superb. I love the structure of it, how they chop it up. I thought it was beautiful. It leaves a lot to chew on. We were like, Syntell's like, so what was the point of this? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And we had to go back and reread the definition of pulp, trying to put something together. I love Samuel L. Jackson's literal come to Jesus moment. And then it's just the deep hypocritical irony of it all, that you're this murderer and it's like, oh God spared my life. But fuck the rest of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was great. pretty much. Like we didn't think about that part, but yes, it was great. I was sad when John Travolta died.
Yeah, I love Pulp Fiction. I think even as controversial as he is, Quentin Tarantino, I love that he has this penchant for tight dialogue.
Absolutely.
Unconventional shooting. And that was one of the first, it's not the first and not even the best example of it, but it's one of the first mainstream big movies where they did a non-linear timeline in the movie, where you had to go back and kind of piece it together. And that worked extremely well, where he became, where everyone else wanted to do that because he did it.
Because he did it so well.
Yeah, he likes his words.
He does like his words.
He likes
likes a
his
very
words.
specific word.
Yeah.
He does.
And then when they show
he
the wife coming home, I'm like, of course it's a black woman. Like I was not surprised.
Oh, when Bonnie shows up?
Yeah. I was like, I just have a feeling that this is not going to be a blonde hair, blue eyed woman walking through that door.
Of course not. Of course not.
I think there's somebody backstage too.
It's Donnie. Hello, Donnie.
Hey, Donnie.
What's going on? Sneaking in from work, so I got to
I was
talk.
gonna say you look
Oh.
look like you're at work.
Look, he got something over his screen and stuff.
That's right.
You
got the door closed, and I got to talk quiet.
Somebody gonna come in and ask you about them TPS reports in a minute.
That's right. I'm going to need those on my desk. Don't touch my stapler.
Well, before everyone jumped on, I was talking about, and like I said, I had told Syntell earlier, which next week's topic is going to be a great topic, but I switched what we're doing this week after April Fool's Day and the rumor, the prank, that they were canceling Doctor Who.
So it was a prank.
It was. It was a prank that they were canceling Doctor Who at Disney. That Amazon Prime had bought the rights to distribute and have Doctor Who, but it was going to be a complete reboot. They were going to make Harry Styles the Doctor. Like it was just enough in there to make you believe it.
Mm.
But
Was this
then
April
you know,
Fool's thing?
yeah, it was. They did it on April Fools.
And published April 1st.
Yeah.
The Harry Styles thing was the one that had me like,
Wait a minute. This might not be true.
I'm gonna go grab Harry Styles.
But then again, though.
But then again, no.
And that right there was a thing too, because even when I was talking it over with Chuck, and I was like, you know what, it's not the worst idea in the
Really
world. Doesn't mean it's a good idea, just not the worst idea in the world, especially if you want it to skew younger. I mean, you're gonna have more women watching Doctor Who than ever before now. Like, you know, like
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like when David Tennant was the Doctor, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
So you would have been okay with that, right? You'd have been okay with that?
I don't know if I'd have been okay with it, but I think as we go through each one of these seasons of Doctor Who, even the parts and places where people tell us it's problematic, I don't know. Our job as reactors or whatever is just to consume the media, and then we give our take on it. So I don't know if I'd have been, because just like as many people has told us how terrible Chuti was in this first season with Disney,
right?
We didn't see what they saw. And because we're looking at it from a completely different lens, like, you know, there is value in representation.
Yes.
The new, and I don't think this is a spoiler, so if it is, I apologize, Syntell, because I know you keep your head way out of it.
I try.
So we have a new companion coming back this next season.
Okay.
And she has been on record because, you know, in the media. So they talked to her about, you know, well, what do you think about Doctor Who being so woke? And she said that Doctor Who is how it's supposed to be. It's not about it being inclusive. It's doing what is right. The world is a big place. You're talking about a time-traveling alien who goes all over the galaxy, goes all over the universe. What makes you think that the only people he would ever deal with are fair-skinned people? Like, that don't even make no damn sense. Like, he's out here talking to monsters and aliens and trees and lizards and stuff, but, you know, when he's get around humans, oh, they're only right-skinned. Boy, stop. Right? I mean, it ain't make no damn sense.
Yeah.
You know, if you
how
want
woke
to,
is just like decency.
Well, and that's one of those things, because it's like even some of the, like when they've looked at Time Lord in the show, they can change to whoever, so why not the Doctor? You know what I mean? Like, so we had, like, you know, we've had a few that, like, you know, change into different people, genders, all of that. So it's like, why do y'all care so much? This is the alien.
however, we're
With
having
two hearts. Like, chill out. It's not that big of a deal.
We're having a pushback though on. All right. Well, I do want to say thank you to everyone for coming in. Again, we are still on Doctor Who.
Yep.
We are still with it. Luckily, Disney and BBC are still giving us more Doctor Who, and we are here for it. The new season with the 15th Doctor is coming out. We're going to be on it. So please make sure that you watch the YouTube for our reactions. And if you are so fortunate to be in Syntell's Patreon or in the Discord, then you'll know exactly what we're going to jump into. We're getting ready to finish off season 9 this upcoming week. So if you're not in the Discord or the Patreon, now's an excellent time to get into it as we finish season 9. Now's a great time. The Discord is free, but if you want to watch the reactions with us when we watch them, you need to be in Syntell's Patreon. And then we're going to take a week or so down, and then we're going to be right into season 10. So now's a great time to get in that. Again, I thank all of you. Thank you, Frank, as usual. Thank you, Donnie. Hope you still got your door closed. And if anybody asks us, we don't know anything that happened. No. He was working hard on those TPS reports.
I never heard of Donnie.
Thank you, Sherelle, as usual. And it is not gone. Unnoticed. Is not. I am fully aware. I do thank both of you for turning on your cameras, letting the people see your wonderful faces. We can hear your voice, and I know, and if on your channel, if that's something that you choose to do, I am all for it. I can't wait to subscribe to your channels, both of you. So if you keep the camera on or you turn it off, either way, I'm here for it. And again, my ace, my partner, Syntell.
Hey,
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can I give one quick shout out? Because I know to jump on the platform, it's not for everybody. First off, let me say that. So for those that are willing to take that leap, you know, I salute you. And I wanted to salute Frank. Frank jumped out in these waters. He jumped out in these waters, and if you want to see him in action, we're doing From, and you can get a chance to see Frank react to.
I don't even watch horror. I don't even watch horror stuff, and I went and watched.
No.
I went and watched some of Frank and Syntell doing From. It's on YouTube right now. The first 2 episodes. Go watch it. It's great. Frank is good at this, like you know. And until you got here, Syntell too. Frank was in here. He jumped in here and was holding me down too. So I went for a minute. And I was going for a while. I was just talking. And just talking, I was like, shit. I was looking at my watch. I was like, they'll be here any minute.
I know. Like, I can't lie. We was looking at the clock. We was like, all right, we had to wrap that boy up.
I felt like
I wasn't looking at the clock until I did, and then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be on the live.
Listen, I felt like I was at the 2 towers. I just kept looking up the hill for Gandalf and y'all to come on over the top of the hill. When morning gotta get here soon. I'm fighting these orcs by myself. Like, come on, shit.
I also wanted to say thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Sherelle. Y'all too. I love y'all to pieces. Thank you. The support. It really means a lot. Thank you to everybody in the chat that come and support every Fridays. I really get a big kick out of live Fridays because you never know what you're gonna get. Huge love. Thank you, Alex Simpkin. Thank you, Craig H. The generous super chats do not go unnoticed. You have no idea. They are tremendous helps, and we are extremely grateful. And last but not least, of course, my man Noop, my man Rekkai. Thank you so much for sticking to it. You was like, yo, we about to do these lives on Fridays. I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, no, I'm for real. We about to do it. And we have been doing it for real. And this has been tons of fun. It's a great idea, man. I'm glad we're sticking with it.
Thank you. And it does not, I'm not missing the fact too, even though she had to leave early. Thank you so much, Marissa, for coming through. Thank you. You know, I know that Syntell has been doing some watches with her, and they've been getting some great content. That was my first time meeting Marissa. And listen, anytime she's welcome back because she added some more context to this whole conversation. So I appreciate it.
And she write one of my favorite genres of book. I'm like, I need to find out where she at.
Yeah,
where's these stories at? I need all
that. And that right there is what we were talking about, though. As we continue to form our community, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is the people that you know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And to everyone in the chat, thank you again. Whether you came in through Syntell's channel or my channel, thank you for showing up. As we got into the middle of this and we start talking about media and what we want to see in the media, the type of media that we consume, that is going to be a topic for a conversation next week. So we're going to talk about how do we create better media for better content for us to watch and consume or even create. So hope that you show up for that. And with that, I want to say, you know, it's all about this. But even more importantly, it's all about this. I'm going to see y'all next week. See?